Well, it's me once again coming your way, and my name remains Robert Ntefan. Today's broadcast is at another level. It's something that has to do with the season we are in. Talking about the atmosphere of love. We're talking about Valentine. On Facebook, my wife placed a question there. Why do we celebrate Valentine, or who was Valentine? Well, we know what we want. Now, this is an aspect of our lives that we cannot dodge. You cannot pretend that it doesn't bother you. There is no need trying to run away from yourself or run away from your shadow, whichever one. Right here in my hands are tools that we are creating so that we'll be able to touch your life wherever you are. And one of them is my book on how to step out of singlehood into a happy marriage. Here I discuss on dating, courtship, engagement, and marriage. So I'm going to attempt to use some of the materials from here to share with you for today. I hope this is going to be a blessing to you. Now, for this particular broadcast, I want to read some things that are very important. Most so because we are working towards the 21st of March, when we will have Love and Marriage Go to School. What a theme, what a title to take for the Love and Marriage School. And if you have not registered yet, I want to ask that you do that now, because we want to pay attention to those who are genuinely interested in developing their lives and being able to make their relational decisions based on informed ideas, informed decisions. Let it not be the usual hormonal drive that people have been having, and at the end they end up wondering, whatever happened to me? So let it come out of what you have learned, and you are doing this consciously, not driven by some forces that you do not know, or you are not driven by what is driving others. You are not driven by even your hormones. You are being decisive about what you want to happen in your life. That is not a common trend. It's not a common thing. So that's why I'm taking out this time to give this information. Now, this is part of what you will get from this book, How to Step Out of Singlehood into a Happy Marriage. Now, this is my own belief. I personally believe that a balanced marriage education and appropriate marriage coaching and mentoring have the potential to take care of stresses upfront, the stresses that people have in their marriages. See, when you pay attention to having the marriage education and also receiving appropriate marriage coaching and mentoring, you are most likely to beat the force that move people into, or the forces that drive people into divorce. Now, it's so horrible to find out that gradually people who claim to be believers in Christ Jesus seem to have more problems in their marriages that there seem to be no solution. But I want to say it conclusively. If people had the kind of marriage education they needed, if people also had the appropriate marriage mentoring or marriage coaching, even while you are in it, If you seek help when you can have it, not when you are already decided, not when you have made up your mind, I don't want it anymore because it's too hot for you to handle. It's becoming too stressful. And sometimes it happens in a way that you hardly can breathe. You need help, and you need to find that help when you can have it. See, the best time to avoid storm is not when the storm is on. The best time is being able to preempt the storms and put structure in place so that when the storm comes, your building can stand. It's one of the reasons why we have the engineers help us to lay the kind of foundation that will be able to withstand the storms, to be able to withstand the shakings. You get what I'm saying? Building or having a successful marriage relationship is like building a house. And that's why in Proverbs it says, a wise woman builds her own house. Now that house there is talking about her home. Same with a wise man. Now let me continue. You can avoid the stresses. Now listen to this. While the possibility of achieving a loving, happy, and lasting relationship is enhanced, if there is a balanced marriage education and appropriate marriage coaching and mentoring, the difficulties that people meet in their effort to choose and settle down with a marriage partner will be largely averted. That, my friend, is not a hype. I'm telling you something that you will be able to experience. You know, of late, I made up my mind. I do not just want to quote Bible passages. I do not just want to be the person who gets busy doing religious things that I cannot experience. I want to talk about the God that I can experience. I want to enter into the relationship where I feel the love. I experience it. It's Dolly Parton that sang many years ago. To live together without love is a sin. And I believe that. I believe that one point I agree with that totally. To live together without love is a sin. And hear me, my friend. The moment obligation replaces the friendship, obligation takes over. It's no more living and relating with the other person or your partner out of love. It's a clear sign that your marriage is beginning to die. If what you are holding on to now is because, you're holding on to what will the people say, or how about our children, or how will my friends see me? Those are nice reasons, but they are not good enough. Because even as you are seeking to impress others, you are losing your life gradually. Sometimes it's even better for some people to stay apart so they are able to answer the question of what exactly is our problem? Do we still need each other? I'm not recommending that for you, but I am saying that some people stay there in an attempt to make others not feel that their marriage has failed, or that their children don't feel that they have disappointed them, and they hold on to it, and the thing is not staying together. That is when you need help, my friend. And I want to recommend that you ensure that you are in the love and marriage school. Now, even if you are not able to attend for whatever reason, maybe you had a program for that day, make sure you find out how you can take one of the programs and see what it does to your heart. That is where true marriages start, and that is where they can be sustained. Just wanting to to manage and be stretching yourself, and yet you are dying, it's not good enough. Now, let's go on. I want to add also, for today's broadcast, one other thing I need to mention to you is that this idea of claiming freedom, and you want to live your life the way you want to do what you want to do your own thing. Not only will it affect the people that are related to you, those who are near and dear to you will be affected, and also it will affect your relationship with your maker. If that's important to you, then you need to review. Now, if you are like me, you would have noticed that some people have declared what they call sexual freedom. You know, they have sexual opinions and practices where women and men nowadays, in an effort to avoid the emotional and psychological pains, they even create more. For example, I know now it's gradually becoming a norm. People moving in together without being married. I will not tell you it's not allowed, because nobody controls your life. But most times you end up hurting not only yourself, but if for any reason a child is born into that relationship, that child will or might not receive the care and the love of the parents like it should be. It is the ability to decide and say, we are getting married, and we will respect each other, will give the love, give the emotional attention, and make what is yours to be mine. I want to be your best friend in the whole world. In fact, I have alternatives, but I forgo other alternatives, and you are the only option. That is not too much to give to somebody who is becoming part of your life. It's not too much to give to somebody that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Now, if you cannot do that, why do you want to get married? Why do you expect to have a lasting marriage relationship with the person you cannot offer to be his or her best friend? Friends don't allow friends to die in the fire. And that is powerful. So, as you may observe, many young people fantasize and talk a lot about sex with very little or no knowledge about marriage, as our Creator God intended. Many people, when they see couples befriend each other or so friendly, they believe they must be boyfriend and girlfriend. Now listen, we have been deceived. We have been told a lie. That friendship is supposed to be what people should see in a marriage relationship. But most times it's because we were not taught, or if you were taught some religious things that you could not apply, or you were given some rules and regulations, or you were told to do it dutifully, not because you are the best of friends, but because you should just hang on the formality of, oh, we are married. That doesn't make it happen, my friend. Interestingly, what they are searching for and have taken a casual and illicit sex as the main thing is something they can actually find within a marriage estate. Now listen to this. The Bible says the marriage, the way God intended, is something that you should long for. Genesis chapter 2 verse 24 and 25 x-rays God's mind. It says, therefore a man shall leave, there's no time to talk about the living, leave father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. When you are talking about shame, about what a man and a woman does, or what they do, it has nothing to do with the couple, because it's supposed to be a friendly environment. It's supposed to be an empowering environment. It's supposed to be a place where you can scratch where it's itching you. That's what marriage was designed to be by God. It says, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. They were both naked and not ashamed. They could expose themselves. They could share their discomfort. There's nothing like shameful sickness that you cannot show your husband or your wife. But when it is not the way it should be, you discover that you feel like a mistake. And because you don't want that to be aggravated, you don't want that to become more intense or intensified, you hold back because you can't expose yourself. Now, take note of this. Marriage makes space for freedom and privacy required, needed by man and wife. And it allows the freedom for you to be able to have that deep friendship. It enhances deep friendship for the married couple. Marriage promotes lasting intimacy. And what are we looking for? We are looking for lasting intimacy. And then somebody will try to lie to you that to be able to have the lasting intimacy, if you get married that you will split, there must be something wrong somewhere. And that is one of the things we want to share with you. Why is it that many people can last for years as boyfriend and girlfriend, or man friend and woman friend, but they cannot share that same intimacy and respect for one another? That same value cannot be placed on one another as husband and wife. Why? As a matter of fact, as we are speaking, some very popular names would rather uphold a man friend or men friends for decades, and they have the guts to tell the public that if they got married they would have split it. There is something that is ungodly in it. Hear this. It is your last chance for personal maturity and practical interpersonal relationship. At work, we learn, and we are told that, it's something we all know, but we are also shown that when you meet with somebody newly, there's that possibility there will be some storm somewhere. And that storm is trying to find out, can we work together? Why should this person lead me? Or why should I follow this person? Or why should I be on the same team? Who does what? And you see this come up even in our marriages. We try to find out, and if you were the controlling type, am I going to be able to control this person? That allows, it makes for all those questions. It's normal. But you see, as you are able to go beyond that, even at work, you discover you now work as a team. You achieve things together as a team. And if there's any reason for anybody to want to separate you from that team, people begin to feel uncomfortable. People feel sad. People mourn. Now, that's how it should be in your marriage. The fact that you are having challenges today does not mean you should call it a quit. It doesn't mean, for as long as you know that this person is still interested in you and you are still interested in the person, you can make it happen. You might just be going through the stormy time, which is normal for when human beings from different backgrounds come together. It might take time, but my friend, it can work if you allow it. Now, take note of this as well. Actually, marriage provides unique opportunity for erotic fulfillment between lovers, man and his wife. Now, the word eros has been reduced to just sexual relationship. Errors from the original concept and original meaning means that there is so much love and trust, that you trust this person so much that there's nothing, not even yourself, will you withhold from the person. But what are we doing today? Today is just about how one person can gratify himself or herself or take advantage of the other person, and that's it. We even do what we call one night stand. I can't understand why we go into such things. But if we follow life the way the Creator designed it, do you know that it will be a very exciting thing to be alive? There is no room for shame in marriage. If you are feeling ashamed in your marriage, then you need to seek help. And you can find it. But you need to do that early enough before your heart becomes hardened. It provides an environment for irreplaceable contribution to be made towards the well-being of children and to raise godly offspring. Now that's where I like to end it today. And you want to find the Bible backing or Bible portion that talks about that. It is in Malachi chapter 2 verse 15. New King James Version says, "But did he," talking about God, "not make them one, having a remnant of the Spirit?" And why one? Why did God bring man and wife to be one? He seeks godly offspring. Therefore, take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously with the wife of his youth. Nowadays, it's not only men that are dealing treacherously with the wife of their youth. Women also deal treacherously with their husbands that they married, stood publicly to declare, "Of all the men, I forgo all, and it's only this one I live with." Now, you need to understand that God wants it to be a thing from your heart, from your spirit. And what we do in the physical shouldn't be just for me and myself and mine, or I. But it should be something you are doing it because love gives. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. That's one thing you cannot fault about love. Love gives. But we like the one that they say, "Oh, you need to find somebody to befriend so that you can be taking from that person." When you sign up to marriage, when you make up your mind to get married to anybody, you are ready to forgo things to make that person happy. And think of it, the way we call it is, it's a sweet competition where you seek to outgive the other person, where you seek to make the other person happy, where you seek to make the other person feel worthy and excited, that if you move away 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it's becoming too long, you want to come back together. That's how it should be. Thank you for staying with me. And remember, you can get this if you're within the United Kingdom. You can get this book